Happy Monday! Today is April 27th, and it is the start of a new week. First and foremost, I spent all weekend updating your assignments and things so that I could send out your progress reports, which have already been sent to Mrs. Krause so that she can look them over and sign them and send them home to your families probably the middle of this week or the end of this week. So keep an eye on those. I just wanted to say one thing about progress reports. You have to think of progress reports as kind of, for some of you, almost like a warning or like a wake-up call. If you haven't been turning things in, if you haven't been doing your best work, you're going to see that on your progress report. And Mrs. Krause will probably comment on it, and I don't assume that your grown-ups are going to be thrilled. So you still have a chance. That's the beauty of progress reports. Before final report cards, before the end of the year, you can go in and you can turn things in that you still owe me. Before we took our Easter break, I emailed every single one of you a list of anything that you owed me, and I asked you to please turn it in. So you can go back to that list, or you can always email me and say, I want to get my grade up. What do I owe you, or what can I do? And I'm more than happy to help you. So this week, when you log into our Google Classroom, you're going to see a couple of things that have been pushed out to you today. Most importantly, you're going to see that our week in 5th grade, and like I've mentioned before, that is the equivalent of your pink schedule that went home when school stopped. That is so important. Before you ask me, before you ask your grown-up at home, check the slides, because a lot of the times I'm going to tell you, check the slides, because I need you to get used to that. It's just the way that we're going to be learning, so you might as well learn those are important, and that's the best place for you to look. We will continue on with Loser, just 2 chapters at a time, 2 short chapters at a time. But also in ELA, we are going to be starting something, a writing project, and I'm really excited about it. So you will go into Google Classroom today, and you will see what our new writing unit is going to be, and I ask that you don't judge it until we get into it. You actually have a prompt in your digital journal today, and I want to know what you think about our new writing unit. I'm kind of leaving it as a mystery, so you have to go in and do that. Speaking of our digital journal or our digital exit tickets, please be reading directions very carefully, because I had several of you turn in the journal, turn in the exit tickets, turn in your review word problem checks. Boys and girls, those are continuing assignments. We're working on them all month long. And it says that right in the directions, it says don't turn in. So then what happens is you go to access that for this week to work on it, and it's not going to be in your Google Classroom, and you're going to be in trouble. So you have to unsubmit that and just continue chugging along working on that again. For math, you are once again picking up where we left off in Zern. We're almost finished dividing decimals. We're not going to go very far because we're not together and I'm not there to help you. We are just sort of going to do the basics when it comes to dividing decimals. We're kind of just dipping our toes in. I need you to be doing those exit tickets. That's probably the assignment that got the least amount of turn-ins. It's 1 problem per Zern lesson. So how I graded it was, I can see, obviously, I've shown you before, once you complete a Zern lesson, it comes across my screen in Zern. I can see it in my reports. So I give you 75 points out of 100 if you completed the Zern lesson. I gave you 25 points for the exit ticket for answering 1 question. So several of you are going to, look at your grades on your progress report and say, like, why did I only get a 75 on this Zern? I did the whole thing. You did, but you didn't do the exit ticket. You have to do the exit ticket. For religion, I did not have you bring home your religion texts, and I didn't want your parents or your grown-ups to come in just to pick up that one thing. I thought that was kind of silly. So what I did was I took my version of it and I made a Google slideshow out of the chapter. So this week you're going to read that chapter, and then there's a couple of stopping points in the chapter. We're starting to learn about a couple of sacraments that you haven't gone over in other grades yet. So you're going to just need to stop and answer a question at each of those points. And that's not going to be due until Friday. So depending on how your work is going for the rest of the week, that will kind of dictate when you work on that. I just want to say to those of you who are watching this video every day, to those of you who are going into our Zoom meeting, who are asking questions, who are commenting on our assignments, there is a direct correlation, and a correlation is a proven relationship, or, you know, something that, things that go together and there's data behind it. You guys are the ones that are getting the great grades. Several of you, all of your grades were mid to high 90s. That's amazing, especially because we're all just getting used to distance learning. So keep up what you're doing. Keep watching this 5-minute video every day. Keep coming into Zoom. Keep asking questions when you have them. Email me, comment, have your parents send a remind message. All of those are okay. So look over what you have to do today. And if you have any questions, bring them to Zoom at 11 o'clock. See you then.